Hello everybody, I think I can be pretty brief this week, but it's been a really good week, not least due to our celebrations of International Women's Day. There's been all sorts of things going on across the college, junior and senior school, and real celebration of some inspirational women. So wonderful to see all of that celebration across the course of this week. And also, the children have settled in really very well. I've been impressed wandering around the corridors and speaking with them. They really do seem to have come back and settled quickly, and their behaviour has been really very good. And that emphasis on socialisation in the classroom, I think, has been absolutely the right thing to do, just to get them back and be familiar with their friends and teachers, and just to be happy to be back. And I know that they very much are. If I could ask you to remind them that within their bubble groups, they do still need to socially distance. So although they are of course bubbled by year groups, sixth form bubbled as 2 year groups, they do still need to socially distance wherever they can. I know that's hard. I know a lot of what's happening at the moment is hard. Having to wear those face coverings in lessons is not easy, but we just need to stick with it. So please do help me by reinforcing that message. And also when they're coming into school on public transport, so important that they wear those face coverings. I have had one email from a member of the public writing into me very nicely, just pointing out that they weren't wearing their face coverings and they had the St Dunstan's uniform on, which doesn't make us look good, obviously. So please, if you could just remind them. I know it's really difficult, but just to stick with the rules. I have to thank again all of our volunteers for helping with the testing, which has gone so well. We move over to home testing, of course, from next week, but all of the testing we've done on site's been really great. And we couldn't have done it without the parents. Well, we could have done, but we'd have had to have brought in great fleets of nurses and paid a lot of money to do that. And of course, by not doing that and having our community rally and help us, it's meant that we can spend the money on other things, on your children, and in particular on the facilities. So it's been so good that we've been able to do that. Thank you very much. And the children have been great with the testing as well, so I'm really delighted. Rather inevitably, I suppose, with everyone, a lot of people seeking to drop their children off at school on the front D, it has meant that the traffic out there is a real nightmare. So please can I ask that everybody follows the directions of the house staff out on that front D. We've had a number of incidents of parents just not following the directions of the house staff, and it causes no end of problems. So if I could please ask, everyone's very sensitive about how we manage the traffic out there on the front drive, I would be most grateful. And of course, if you don't need to drive and your child can come in by public transport, please do encourage that wherever possible. Next week, our theme is on community. So that's very appropriate given everything that has gone on within this community across this week and going into next week too. And I just want to draw your attention to a presentation on Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock, which is the presentation, and I'm afraid it had to be delayed, but it is now happening 6 o'clock Wednesday, on racial diversity and inclusion and the audit that we did and the associated action plan that came out of that audit. And I'm really grateful that the person who undertook that audit is going to do the first part of the meeting by way of presentation on his findings of our racial diversity and inclusion. If you remember, there was a survey done of all of the children and of the staff, and that the findings are really interesting, and of course are what has informed that action plan, which I will also share with you on Wednesday evening. So those of you who are interested in that, please do join us. There will be a link that's circulated to you as part of this bulletin. So I think that's it. As I said, it's quite brief this week, but it's been a good week and I'm very grateful to everybody. I am still searching for a grand piano in the recital room of the new Performing Arts Centre. So again, anyone who knows anyone who's trying to get rid of a grand piano or wants to sell a grand piano, please do get in touch with us. We want to have that as a really nice feature of our new recital room. Other than that, have a really lovely weekend and look forward to speaking with you again next week.